Alright, well, welcome back to the main entry screen here for Flight Simulator 2004. The first step in the planning of our journey is to file a flight plan. So off the main menu here, I'm going to click on Flight Planner, and I'm presented with a series of options. The first two being the departure and destination airports. So if I click on departure, I'm presented with really a list of every airport in the world, but I happen to know the ICA airport code for Los Angeles, which is KLAX. Looks like we found our airport, and instead of placing us on the active runway, I'm actually going to try and get us a gate here. Let's see. Echo 4 sounds good. And as for the destination, we're headed to KSFO, San Francisco International Airport. And for the flight plan, it's certainly going to be in instrument flight rules. And with regard to the routing, we'll choose high altitude airways. So if I click on Find Route, the system will automatically compute a route. And this is what it's chosen for us. There are a series of waypoints between the point of origination and destination, and some of them are VORs. We have LAX, RZS, and SNS. VORs are VHF omnidirectional radios, and they basically transmit signals that enable our aircraft to ascertain through bearing and distance our location. And there are also some intersections here, which are basically published waypoints. They generally have longer codes. These happen to be 5-letter codes, CANO and ROBIE. We could also pick other waypoints for our journey, NDBs, other airports, even latitude, longitude points. But I think we're going to stick with this flight plan. If I click on navigation log, I'm brought to a more detailed display of the flight plan. And you can see the distance calculated is 300.9 nautical miles. It estimates our fuel burn in gallons and pounds, and the time en route, which looks like it's 1 hour 16 minutes. And then down here on the list of waypoints, it displays the distance between the previous waypoint and the current one, the estimated speed at which we'll hit the waypoint, the fuel burn between waypoints, and the estimated altitude. The biggest thing, I think, is the distance in terms of evaluating the plan at this point. And you'll see that the distance between the airport and the first waypoint, between that is KLAX, the airport, and LAX, the VOR with the frequency 113.60, is only 1.5 miles. And I think it's probably pretty pointless to have the LAX VOR, which is obviously the VOR affiliated with the airport. So I'll probably just delete that from the flight plan. You can go ahead and do that right now. That simplifies our flight plan, I think, greatly. And our cruising altitude, not quite sure what that's going to be yet, but we can pick 31,000 feet, flight level 310, and we can always change that. So if I click OK at this point, I'll save the flight plan to the hard drive, and we can recall it when we're ready to begin our flight. When we come back, we'll look at how to configure this simulated Boeing 767 aircraft, and based on that configuration, we'll do our fuel planning.